Right now, somewhere in the world, someone is standing 3 feet from a wild animal they absolutely should not be touching, extending their hand and thinking, he seems friendly. Wildlife rangers spend a significant portion of their careers explaining why this is a bad idea. National parks have entire departments dedicated to preventing it. Zoos build barriers specifically engineered to interrupt the process. And every single year, without fail, someone spots a baby bison the size of a small sofa and makes the deeply human decision to see what happens if they get closer. Why? Why, across every culture, every country, every century of recorded history, do humans want to pet everything? The answer turns out to involve several very old systems in the human brain, all firing at the same time, all pushing in the same direction. For nearly all of human existence, life was surrounded by other life. There were no cities, apartment buildings, roads, or fluorescent offices. The entire world was animals, plants, rivers, and whatever was hiding in the undergrowth nearby. Survival depended on paying attention to living things. A circling vulture might reveal a carcass. The sudden silence of birds could mean danger was approaching. Following animal tracks could lead to food, water, or safer ground. Over hundreds of thousands of years, human brains became extraordinarily attuned to detecting life. So attuned, in fact, that we frequently detect it where it doesn't exist. People give names to their cars. They apologize after walking into furniture. They yell at malfunctioning computers, show someone a handful of moving dots on a screen, and within seconds they'll start assigning personalities and intentions. That one looks scared. That one is definitely the villain. They're just dots. But your brain was never really built for dots. For most of human history, assuming something was alive when it wasn't was usually harmless. Assuming something wasn't alive when it actually was could be a very expensive mistake. So evolution pushed us toward paying close attention to anything that moves, breathes, or looks like it might have an opinion about you being nearby. In the 1980s, a biologist named E.O. Wilson proposed something called the biophilia hypothesis. His argument was simple but striking. Humans may possess an innate attraction to other living things. Not because nature is fashionable or animals are entertaining, but because our minds evolved inside natural environments for so long that living things are simply what our brains were built to understand. If Wilson was right, then the impulse to interact with animals isn't strange at all. What's strange is spending a modern life surrounded almost entirely by concrete, glass, and screens. Perhaps the reason people stop to watch birds, keep houseplants, visit aquariums, and pet every dog they encounter on a walk is because some part of the human brain is constantly reaching for a world it was designed to live inside. But noticing animals isn't the same as desperately wanting to touch them. For that, we need to talk about babies. Among mammals, humans take an unusually long time to grow up. Foals can stand within an hour of birth. Young wildebeest can run within the day. Human children spend years relying almost completely on the adults around them. That dependency created enormous evolutionary pressure. Anything that caused adults to feel a strong, automatic pull toward vulnerable, helpless creatures became extremely valuable for the species. Over time, human infants evolved a very specific set of features that trigger nurturing responses almost automatically. Large eyes relative to the head, a round, protruding forehead, chubby, soft cheeks, a small nose. Scientists call this the baby schema, and it operates far below conscious decision-making. You don't evaluate whether something is cute. The response fires before you think. You simply experience it. Here is the interesting part. These features are not unique to human babies. Puppies have them, kittens have them, baby pandas have them, seal pups have them. The baby schema appears across dozens of entirely unrelated species, and the human brain responds to all of them with the same ancient nurturing circuit, at the same intensity, pointed in completely the wrong direction. The urge to reach toward a puppy is not, at its core, about puppies. It is the caregiving system of the human brain, running at full power, briefly confused about what it is looking at. Sometimes the response becomes so strong it produces something genuinely strange. Researchers call it cute aggression. It is the overwhelming urge to squeeze, pinch, or bite something because it is too cute. The need to say, "I want to eat him" to a baby. the impulse to grip a puppy harder than is strictly sensible. Nobody actually means it, at least hopefully not. But scientists believe this response exists because when something triggers the baby schema too intensely, your brain's emotional regulation system kicks in to restore balance. The aggressive impulse is essentially a pressure valve. The cuteness signal became too loud, and your nervous system found a way to turn the volume down, which is a completely normal thing for a brain to do. That still doesn't explain the lion problem. Nobody mistakes a fully grown lion for a baby. Nobody confuses a grizzly bear with something that needs to be held. Yet the videos still exist, the warning signs still go up every summer, and rangers still have conversations they have clearly had before. Part of this is about touch itself. Humans are an unusually social species, and physical contact plays a significant role in how we build and maintain bonds. Handshakes, hugs, a hand on the shoulder. Touch reduces stress, builds trust, signals connection. Because of this, humans tend to extend their social instincts far beyond other humans. We talk to pets. We tell them things we don't tell other people. We celebrate their birthdays with a slightly embarrassing level of sincerity. When an animal seems expressive or emotionally relatable, many people begin treating it less like a creature and more like another individual. And once that happens, wanting to touch it feels completely natural. But there is something else going on with the large, dangerous ones specifically. Psychologists have documented that humans are frequently attracted to controlled risk. Roller coasters are terrifying. Horror films are frightening. Standing near the edge of a tall building is objectively alarming. And yet people seek these experiences because fear and excitement produce remarkably similar sensations in the body. Both sharpen attention. Both make the moment feel vivid and memorable. Standing near a powerful wild animal produces a version of this feeling at an intensity that is difficult to replicate elsewhere. A lion at a zoo feels dangerous and controlled at the same time. The brain receives the excitement without fully processing the risk. Add to this a tendency researchers call anthropomorphism, the human habit of projecting emotions and intentions onto non-human things. And the situation becomes particularly complicated. A lion that appears calm reads, to the human brain, as a lion that is friendly. This is not an accurate reading of what the lion is experiencing, but it feels convincing enough that every year someone climbs a barrier to verify. The strange thing is that across all of these different forces, the same basic conclusion keeps emerging. A brain built to notice life. A mind that seeks connection with the natural world, instincts designed to nurture vulnerable things, a desire for touch and curiosity, and occasionally a small amount of unwise excitement. All of it points in the same direction. Get closer, see what happens. You might make a friend. Most of the time, that instinct leads to some of the most meaningful connections humans ever form. The dog that sleeps at the end of your bed. The cat that somehow knows when you need it, the bird that returns to the same spot in your garden every year and that you have definitely named by now. And every once in a while, that same ancient instinct convinces a fully grown adult to approach a bison in a national park while a ranger watches from a distance, preparing to explain for roughly the 14th time this summer why that particular idea should have stayed a thought.